So it's springtime here in Oklahoma, and we're going to have a lot of springtime weeds popping up in the lawn and in the garden. And so what we can see out here is maybe a lot of purple flowers, maybe a lot of white flowers, and some look very pretty. And some look very tall and very mature. So you may be wondering about, well, what can I do about some of these weeds that are coming up that I see in my yard and my garden in the springtime? Well, the problem we have is that these are so tall, so mature, that they're a little tough to control at this point. And also we have to remember that a weed is just a plant that's not growing where we want it to grow. So for some people, they may look out and see these purple flowers, these white flowers in their lawn and think, wow, that's really beautiful, and may not do anything about it, and that's okay. They can attract pollinators. They can be beautiful for the yard. But others might look at that and say, hey, I really need to clean that area up. But first of all, what we have to figure out is, like, what are we dealing with? What are these plants with purple flowers? What are these plants with white flowers? So we can take a closer look and try to ID the weeds, and then that'll give us an idea of how to deal with them when it comes to control. Maybe it's a little too late this spring, but we can get on top of it for the next growing season. So we'll take a look at a couple here. And a very common one we have here in Oklahoma is this beautiful purple flower we see here, and this is called henbit. And the thing about henbit is it's going to grow out usually in disturbed areas of the lawn, especially if there's open soil. But you'll also see it coming out, like if you have a Bermuda grass lawn or a tall fescue lawn, you'll see it kind of popping up in areas there too. And so the purple flowers is really the key indicator at this time of year, but these are actually winter annual weeds. And so what that means is they may germinate during the winter, maybe even last fall. They survive throughout the season, and as we come into March, April, you'll really see them start to take off and grow, and you'll start to see them flower. And so for the most part, these are winter annuals, but they can be biennials as well. They're actually part of the mint family, and so if you take a look at the leaves, it may remind you a little bit of mint. If you look at the purple flowers, they're tubular looking. And if you take a close look at the stems, they're usually like square or four-sided stems. Also, you'll notice the leaves are opposite in a whorl, and they usually do not have a stem on the leaf or a petiole. And so you'll see them coming directly off at the top of the plant like we see here. Now another one that you may find, it also has purple flowers, looks very similar. It's actually right here together. It's called purple dead nettle. It's almost like a close cousin to the henbit, also in the mint family. I think the leaves look more mint-like on the purple dead nettle than they do the henbit. But you also see that at the very top, there's a reddish or dark purplish color tint to the leaves. You'll still see the purple flowers, much smaller, not tubular looking though. And then as you go down the stem, it's also that square stem, and you can feel it as you touch it, but you may see petioles on the leaves as you get farther down the stem. So that'll help you differentiate between the two, but both are winter annuals, both in the mint family. Really going to deal with them about the same way. Now we also see some white flowers out here as well, and this is shepherd's purse. And what's neat about it is, again, at this time of year, it's going to be seeding out. And so you see these little seed pods that almost look heart-shaped at the top, or like a shepherd's purse. That's where it gets its name. And beautiful white flowers on it. It comes up like a rosette. And so really, if you find it earlier in the season, it'll almost get confused with like a dandelion or something with that, the leaves close to the ground, and then all of a sudden, springtime hits, boom, they shoot up and start to set these white flowers and these shepherd purse looking seeds. So those are some common ones that we deal with at this time of year. There are others scattered through here, maybe a little tough to see, but I also want to mention that you'll find Carolina geranium. And that one is actually growing here a little closer to the ground. Not going to have the purple flowers, but some people get it confused with henbit, but the big difference here is you're not going to see those purple flowers coming up from the ground. Also in here there's a grassy weed or two, so I'm looking right down here and I see annual bluegrass. All these are winter annuals. The difference is you have some broadleaf plants like I've been talking about. You also have winter annual grasses like annual bluegrass that will come up. So to get on top of these, you really have to have a program of having a healthy lawn, a healthy garden to keep the weeds out. Doing what you can do to have a nice healthy yard, like proper cultural practices, fertilization, irrigation, and so on. If you really want to prevent these weeds from coming up, you can put a weed preventer down in the fall or in the early spring/late winter. When it gets to this time, when you're trying to battle them, really all you can do is mow it down and keep it from going to seed, or let the flowers stay out there and just enjoy the butterflies and enjoy the pollinators as they come through your lawn.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.